There's a time when the world is at its quietest, when shadows stretch long and sleep is just out of reach. It's the hour of restless souls, of whispered stories, of thoughts too much for the daylight. Welcome to Hour of the Wolf, where we dive into the stories that keep you awake. When hearts beat and the wolves prowl. The family, the community, the truths about being in a wolf pack. Stay with us if you dare. They call it the Hour of the Wolf.
I caught the hiccups in our little bit of a break, so bear with me. We're back, everybody. We are live. Welcome back to the show.
Obviously, we'll start out with the video a little montage you just saw. That's our Nevada brother, Kevin. Yeah, great human being. He was a prospect. He is not. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. He was a patched member. I was going with. He is now technically the captain of the Nevada chapter. Passed away last week. Rest easy, brother. It's too young to go.
Yeah, he was a good guy. Gone too soon.
He was a very good guy. Very, very popular. A lot of guys liked chatting with Kevin. One-Eyed Kevin was his Discord name. So, how are you doing, Louis?
I'm good. Yeah, it had a pretty productive weekend, I guess. With get some flowers and all that stuff ready to go for flowers around the house. And got our
how did your Amish breakfast? How did your breakfast go yesterday?
Yeah, we went out to a place called Jay's Diner in Cashton. And it's a newer place. It's pretty good food there. It used to be Bobby John's bar for years. And then Bobby passed away, and Sue, she went to go move in their daughter in Madison area. So yeah, it was good to support that building again. Good people that own it.
Sounds like a John Mellencamp song. Bobby and Sue owned a diner.
Yeah, owned a diner.
Madison, yep.
Yeah, that was a staple of like this area's breakfast for years. Yeah. Everybody. The nice thing, the coolest thing to see though was like the same like old timers are still playing cards in their same spots. So like the atmosphere hasn't changed too much. And if the old people are still playing cards there, which is great to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
every morning. I remember like back when you could smoke in bars, you'd walk in and it'd be like just a haze in that place. You walk in, Sue's back there cooking breakfast, and you got the guys playing cards, and we come in after deer hunting and just
Sue have a stick hanging out of her mouth as she was cooking too.
No, Sue didn't smoke. She was clean cut. She took it very seriously. She ran a tight ship there. But yeah, good weekend, good relaxing weekend.
Good. Yeah, I took the bike out for a couple 100 miles yesterday, and then today we had a club meetup at the Silver Tuna Tattoo. One of our Mertzi, one of the Wisconsin members, is a tattoo artist at Silver Tuna. So we had he had his customer appreciation and chapter meetup today. We had 11 guys out there. That's a sexy bunch. Look at that.
Yeah.
I do have to make a call out because if you, which you can't really zoom in here, but nobody pointed out to me that my face was white the entire with the sunblock on when I first got there, and apparently I never rubbed it in enough. And I got home and my face was pure white. So nobody said a damn thing to me. They all just sat there and laughed at their president right behind his back. Fucking ridiculous. The respect.
Bunch of stooges.
Right? You would have told me.
I would have told you. I know I would. Yeah, because I'm fair skinned. I live this life where I have to wear sunscreen. I would have told you in a heartbeat.
But that was a good time. We raffled off a couple of. We had a few more people sign up for the July ride, so we raffled off a package from Lit Beard. We raffled off a couple of our sponsors, Wisconsin Herd and the Madison Mallards. We gave some ticket packages away.
Heck yeah.
Some good food, some good times. Met some good people. Grizzly brought in a new guy today from that thing. He was there right at the end as we were walking in. A guy with a majestic beard. I said, "Grizz, it's your job. I'm leaving. Get him in." And by the time I had gotten home, he was already on the server. So,
hey boy, Ken, he's on the ball as always.
He's on the ball. He is on the ball. I walked in on him talking to Mertzi too, telling him about talking to him about you, that Louis brought me in and this and that. And so you were there in spirit, bud.
Yeah. If I didn't have someone it's hard to like the week before you're on call, like you got to catch up on your shit before the week starts. Be busy.
Yeah, that was fun. Back from there a couple hours ago. And,
yeah. Speaking of chat, is that ogre running around the chat yet?
I don't see him yet. What the hell?
Unreal. You guys chat, everybody in the chat, please like the stream. Subscribe if you haven't.
We had I don't know if I think you saw this. We were talking about this a little bit before from one of our April shows. Michael Gagliano, one of our good friends, para with a normal investigator. He was in an accident and is. I posted something this morning about it. He was in ICU with a serious head injury. Well, his wife, somebody in part for his wife, posted something later tonight that it sounds like he's responding. He's talking. He already asked when he can get out. They moved him out of ICU apparently too, and moved him into a different head trauma area or something. So it sounds like he's making a little bit of a turn, which is a good thing. So thoughts out to our good friend Mike. Yeah, hopefully he gets better and we can see him at the Paranormal Rockdown down in July. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That was kind of bummed out to see that he got hurt. Just hard. Sometimes hard to fathom that somebody with a personality that big could get hurt and something like that. You know what I mean? Just such a good guy. He'll be, if we know Mike, he'll be fine. He'll be cracking jokes about that in this incident. Just
True.
Like I always say, as long as nobody died, you're usually all right.
Obviously, today's the 1st of June. We kicked off 2 initiatives in the club. We kicked off our Pop Tab Palooza and the Renegade Give Back. So, guys that are paying attention, club members, make sure you got 3-4 months here to get yourself your hours of service that you can log in. Any questions, message myself or Bobo, and we can help you guys get the information logged. And then obviously we are all collecting pop tabs for the Ronald McDonald House. So that stuff all kicked off officially today. The guys were still putting in some time before that, which is no big deal. So it's all good. It's all good stuff.
But yeah. That said, I guess we can bring in our guest for this evening, eh?
Certainly can. This is a big one. This is a good one.
Well, Andrew Orten, the man.
Hey, everybody.
Heidi ho, sir. from the Bluegrass Bearded Alliance and the Renegade Beard Club.
Yes.
Yep.
Kentucky chapter.
Can I start there? I think Beans explained it to me. So the Bluegrass, give us a rundown of what the Bluegrass Bearded Alliance exactly is.
So the Bluegrass Bearded Alliance, it is a 501c3 charitable organization, and we've been a bunch of bearded guys got together, and we were doing the club stuff, but we really wanted to stress our local community here in Hardin County, Kentucky. So we came up with this organization and decided that, you know what, that's kind of one of the things that I think a lot of beard clubs need to think about is getting out into the community and doing good. It's not putting anybody down. It's just, COVID hit and a lot of things slid with that. But we just wanted to make sure that, we didn't just stop because of COVID, or we didn't just, stop as a group of people and focus on our community and get out. So like, we do our road cleanup 4 times a year. We try to raise money for local like animal shelters, or kind of like one of the things I was going to break on here, but we'll hold that off for a little bit. And bring in other organizations that we can help out, whether it's I know for the animal shelter, we brought in like 600 pounds of food for dogs and cats to our local animal shelter. And basically we just put totes out and, hit the community up and just brought in, things that way.
How big of a group is this?
Really, we weren't focusing on, kind of like, Renegade. We weren't focusing on trying to just bring in a bunch of people. Those things, that's great for building. We were a tight knit group, friends, really close. And I know that that's here in our club too. But really it's 10 of us. Okay. We kind of stuck with those. We have like the strong family values, and like I said, we've come from clubs. This ain't to knock on any club. It's just, building an organization so then that way we can do these things. Of course, one of them being this beard competition that we're talking about. With having a lot of people, it's hard to get ideas moving, and like being in another where I was in another bigger club, you still have some paperwork to go through. Being here in our community, we got our stuff started, got our 501c3, and just started getting out there and doing the work, and we can make the decisions as we are here instead of I know that you guys are in other areas. We have so many people so far and wide. Sometimes you don't get that word out to them. There's probably people that haven't even seen this yet and don't even know that it's going on. So, I mean, the thing is like we were focusing in our community. And of course, I've been around for a while, when Beans decided to hit me up and, we collaborated to doing this. He's like, hey, why don't you join? You might like it. And, it's a great brotherhood. I mean, that's kind of what, I've had before. I've always longed to do. I love to reach out and help people when need to, and, basically build on the camaraderie and kind of show people what this can become.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know when Louis and I were talking pre-show, and we were talking about the Bluegrass Bearded Alliance, I said the same. It's similar in a way to what we did in Wisconsin with the Wisconsin Bearded Brothers. When we set up our 501c3 that was in a previous club, we set it up under a different umbrella for similar reasons, like what you said. We were able to focus on a smaller. We were focusing on our area more so than the 501 portion of ours focuses specifically more so on Wisconsin than it does everywhere else. And then we fall under the umbrella of the RVC, and we can still do all of the work, the nationwide work and everything with the full club. But the 501c3 is a similar structure to what you guys have set up over there too.
So, I know you understand how that works. And that's the thing is like, so everybody else would understand. This isn't like, it seems like I'm tripping over myself with it, but it's not to knock, the club or anything like that. This is just where you got your brothers, whether it was the 10 that you had shown over there with your white pale face, or, that's kind of the thing is like, if anything, it could be started even with the club, but the paperwork for the overall club is going to be a lot more difficult. Not saying it can't be done, but it's a lot more because laws in your state are different than laws here. It costs us only this much. It might cost you a lot more there. And then not just that, you have, the international board has to be involved. And then it's like, well, how do you handle it with, smaller clubs or like chapters? So that's why, those things, it's like, if that happens within our club, that's great. But just because, we have this big club, it doesn't mean, and I'd like to say for other people, get out there and try to, because it does help with your local community, because if they see 501c3, they have a easier way of trusting you and doing this and donating the money. And especially when it comes to something like this, like a beard comp, because, I guess some of them, there's quite a few of Renegade Beard Club members that are going to be coming to this. You want to make sure that you can trust the individuals that are handling it. There have been some stuff in the past with, different clubs, different beard comps where they've had issues, and I didn't want that. And since we started this, it was like it's a better way of handling it, because you got all the IRS stuff involved and everything there. So I would suggest, if even in your own local chapter, you can start at Renegade Beard Club chapter, and you can do your own 501c3 that way.
Yes. Yeah, that's through the discussions. I know our chapter treasurer handled most of our stuff. Kept me in the loop, obviously, but a lot of it's over my head. But I do remember a lot of the same things you're saying about the nationwide, and especially going international. It becomes difficult, and that's why I think some of the conversations, and I won't get into it too much about the conversations about the RBC right now. It seems like we are kind of diverting everybody to do individual ones instead of one umbrella that is really going to be could become a nightmare to set up in the first place. Could get expensive. You could be talking about involving lawyers and stuff like that possibly. So,
and I don't know about you all, but none of us are millionaires to be able to run all that and have all the accountants and everything. So,
no, Louis got himself some money that's sitting back there.
Oh, okay. Well, then we put under Louis' name.
When the hell did Louis get money?
So we got a beard comp coming up as well.
Yep.
July 26th. 26th. Beardamerica.
Yep.
So why the beard comp? This is number 2. This is your second one. So why the beard comp? Why'd you start the beard comp? What sets Beardamerica away from the dozens and dozens of other competitions over the course of the year?
You had to go there with it. So, if you probably all have heard a little bit of my story. So, I've been in the bearded community. This isn't talking about the clubs. The bearded community is, an outstretch of clubs. It's everybody coming together, and we get together at these competitions, hug each other, have fun, raise money for charities. If you ever get a chance to go to one, you haven't, please go to one, even the local ones that you have in your town, because that's it. You're doing the same thing as if you went to go walk a dog or something like that. You're raising money for charity in a fun way. This became a real big thing with my family. My son, my daughter, they've competed, and I'm talking about from young ages. We're going to a monster ball for Mad Viking, and I have a 14 and 17-year-old kid going there competing and dressed up in costumes and having fun, to where, you know, my daughter's 17 at this point and we're in Daytona Beach and she's winning the nationals. So, I mean, it's one of those things where this is something that we've done, and, you know, it's fun. You meet a lot of people. It's great to network in. And I know here in Hardin County, Kentucky, we don't have anything like that. The closest thing really to Kentucky for beard comp wise was Cincinnati Beard Barons, Big Whisker. And there was also Beard Mob. They had a Bearded Theater in Indiana. I don't think that one's happening this year, but they've always put on a great show. There's a couple more around. I know Ohio, they've done quite a few. And then Tennessee, there's a few around. So really, Kentucky hasn't had a whole lot of showing, and we're right in the middle of it all. So it was a good thing to do. You know, when you started off, you don't expect to come into it doing, you know, that much. And we did pretty good, especially with, you know, coming back from some hard times. I think this year, you know, I think there's a lot of guys wanting to push it over the edge. So we'll see how that goes. But I really love the fact that, you know, everybody kind of took me in, you know, in this club, and is willing to come out and treat it like it's their reunion. And that's kind of what it's supposed to be. So for Renegade Beard Club to do that, that's what I'm welcoming it for, is, you know, come on, you know, enjoy yourselves, have fun, bring kids, bring your wife. This is not just guys competition. This is for the kids too. But I mean, it's family oriented. But of course, you know, we're guys, so there's going to be things that go on like alcohol and telling stories, because it is at a American Legion, so there's plenty of food and beverages to be at hand.
So you bring up the family atmosphere, and that you've spent a lot of time competing now. I myself in an in-person competition have only competed in one, and it was a small one here in state. So what can guys expect from the people? I mean, like you said, we got a lot of RBC guys coming down. It's not just us. There's other people coming to this that have never participated in this. I mean, what can you expect? What can guys expect when they get to a competition of this level? I mean, is it?
Well, I actually love that question. And first of all, before I even start, I love the mustache. Looks on point. So the first thing I come across, it don't matter. I could be out in the street and get that, oh, you got nice beard and hair. Oh, I can never compete. You know, that's not the case. I mean, you got from, you know, short itty bitty business beards, you know, to the big, you know, over 12-inch. And then it doesn't stop there. You have the different styles. You have the creative stuff, which the ladies do. And they also do the realistic, but, you know, of course it's like the makeup style where they put it on. And then the kids, they do creative. And that's something that I did kind of introduce at our comp, because it's not really out there per se, but an all-inclusive category, which is the patriotic category, literally allows the guys to come in, and if they want to build a beard or decorate it up, it's just, we kind of use it as the most patriotic, because ours is, you know, patriotic and America themed. So I mean, the thing is, like, for guys, even if it's, you know, a guy who doesn't have a beard, come in and build one and have fun with it. Or if it's just a guy with a mustache but wants to still build a beard. But I mean, we have so many different, we have 15 different categories in a best in show. There's something to fit for everybody. I think we're going to have some pretty big categories this year because of how many people might be coming. But I mean, that's where you start learning about the differences in style. And I did myself. So I've had a 12-inch beard. I've had different size beards and trimmed it up and all that. And I kind of got to, changing it up myself because, there's every guy can come in without doing any work and compete. So I started doing the freestyle categories and won quite a few of those, got first place, and those are fun. And that's where you get it all dialed up and put it in with hairspray and things like that. So I got to enjoy that world for a little bit. I've done the regular categories, but once guys get to see how this can go, it's like yourself with the mustache. I mean, on a day-to-day, most guys don't wear their mustaches like that. I've actually been starting to style mine a lot more. I've actually competed in full beard style stash. It's something that I've actually taken a little more hold to because, your mustache is part of your beard. And the thing is that it's nice to get it, styled up and join a different breed of guys, looking a little more dapper. And I've been known to look like the Sasquatch, so I'm trying to play the other side of the role.
That's a good ring to it, Dapper Darren.
Starting something new here.
Yeah, I've never personally competed at one, but I was a judge for one in Coon Valley last year that our club kind of helped sponsor.
Yeah,
that was kind of fun.
And I would recommend that too.
Yeah, that was
our club needs to do some more.
Our friends with Wandering Sheep, Adam Lamb and his wife Gwen. That was a lot of fun. A lot of personalities show up to those things. We had, I don't know, I think like 20 people signed up for that. And a lot of personalities. Everybody, what's your secret? How do you get that thing so, just, and then the older guy who won the best overall beard. He's like, oh, I just work at cows all day. Nothing fancy. It's just cow shit.
Dust and manure.
Yeah, just cow shit. Yeah, just super nice guy.
So what'd you guys learn from last year? What did you change besides different categories? I mean, what did you learn? What went wrong last year that you guys said, or maybe not so much wrong, but what happened that you guys could look and say, let's do that a little. We need to do that a little different this year. How can we tweak that?
Honestly, it was a good success for a first one and everything. I mean, we really didn't have any hiccups. But I mean, the thing is that, like a couple things with category scoring, nothing major. I think it was just like, fixing ties. But the thing is that if I had one little hiccup that we had, I guess I could say we are definitely attacking better this year, was with the raffle, the Chinese raffle item tables, where we get the tickets and put it into the cups and pull a ticket for the prize. I guess some of the guys that were helping my wife with that area thought we wanted the stage to read it, and I would never do that. It works for some comps, and some of them actually have it very well organized. Like I know Wicked Whiskers does; they do it every time, and we joke back and forth because we don't do it that way. The thing is a lot of comps, they have boards where you read the numbers, and that's how you go up. You say, "Here's my number," and I got that prize. They match it with that. It's a little quicker and easier, and it keeps the stage presence open. So then that way you're not trying to read off onto the stage. That's just what we chose. Well, there was miscommunication. They were trying to bring stuff. It's like, no, I had to direct that back over there. It still worked out fine, and everybody got their stuff. So my wife is kind of, holding all the guys down, saying, "Listen, you come to me, and I'm the one that's doing it."
So we had a question to YouTube.
Yeah.
Can you explain in the general role how scoring works in a competition?
Okay, so most of them kind of go this way. I've kind of mimicked our scoring, kind of off of what you would say nationals has been. So you have a scoring system starting off from 10 being the best and down to 1, but you really don't go down that far because we don't have that many in a category that we'd have to go down to 1, but you have 10, and then we do the half scale. So 10, you have 9-5, 9, 8-5, 8, and what it is each judge will pick, how they're scoring each individual. that's kind of where I'm going to go in a taboo area here. A lot of people think that there's cheating and favoritism and all that stuff. I don't see how it's ever been possible with the way that you have it. You have 4 to 5 judges. You're not going to have anything like that happen. So it's still, it's one of those things where, this is for charity. Nobody should ever be hurt about it. But you have 5 different judges that are putting down numbers. You're not going to have any of that across the board. You might have differences in opinion. So they actually go off of certain standards, and it depends on judges too. I mean, we have a judge that's actually from the charity who's going to be there and won't know anything about judging. So they're going to rely on someone on stage to kind of break it down to them. We give them some guideline, and then it's kind of up to them, which is like a good wild card, because you don't get that, oh, well, they're all from this club, or because Renegade Beard Club is the main sponsor, they're going to win it all. I mean, the thing is none of them really work that way. If you go and do this stuff enough is another thing. If you show up enough, you learn how this works. So, someone that comes in and does their mustache up, and I come in and I do my mustache up. Well, I know that there's certain things that I've used that helps my mustache stay up the whole night. And you can smack me in the face and go like this, it'd never fall down. But if you're using a wax, you go outside in the heat, it starts to droop, and wax doesn't hold as well. So, I mean, without giving out secrets, the thing is that there's a lot of things that people do and realize what's best. I mean, here, nobody loves a whaler. And the thing is that's something that gets said out there. It's all in joking, but whalers, they have the same thing that goes on just in their category. And it could be from where if they don't have enough trimmed up on their cheeks, to where if their soul patch has been shaved off or not, certain people want to see how that is, and want that, where if you're talking about a whaler, the only thing the whaler is not supposed to have is a mustache. So I mean, you have many different things that come into how it's scored, and also the preferences of the judge. So like for goatee, if you're going in a goatee category, you only have to take off about 2 inches right here. That's it. You don't have to shave it down and just have it here. So you just cut about 2 inches from your ear, and that's a goatee. So I mean, a lot of people don't know that, and you got some guys with some really massive goatees because they're growing a little bit more facial hair than someone who's just doing close to a Fu Manchu.
Okay, you have to give me a minute here. I'm going to make myself a note. Google what size wax in the Kentucky heat. Okay.
That's it. That's all you got to see.
Okay.
Big bars.
Big bars.
It's good stuff.
It's going to be warm in Kentucky on July 26th, 25th, 26th. That's
ours is indoors. Ours is indoors, so it's going to be cool.
I've got no reason to go outside. I don't smoke or anything, so I've got no reason to go outside. I can take an air conditioned car all the way up there. I can walk into the building. I'll be just fine.
Just don't ride a beans.
Actually, that's another thing I throw out there. There's a lot of things I could throw out there tonight. So, Greenfield Hotel or Motel, Hotel. Sorry, that's our main hotel that we have. Anybody who's needing to stay there, or I know that some are going to be going, and eating some of Bean's food and stuff like that. But if you want to stay at that hotel, it's not but 5 minutes from the venue. I know that we got the mini golf course set up on the meet and greet night, which is that Friday. Basically, we'll meet there at 7 and it'll go on till it closes. So I know some people might eat down there. If they want to travel a little bit and come up there, that's fine. If you're just coming in for the event, and want to stay at the Greenfield Hotel, you could walk there, and it's a mini golf course that has a bar and food, and it's kind of like a nice outside party game area. We did it last year and had, like I think 30 people show up for that. It was fun. Work out a few little things for discounts there. We got the hotel discount. We got it to under, it was like $99. So it's not very expensive for a room. And all you got to do is tell them Beardamerica. So even if you just need to stay that night, it would, they're wanting to stay hooked up with us, and especially if this becomes a nice big family reunion and everybody just wants to keep getting together. It's a great hotel. It's ran by some great people. There's an indoor pool. So you got that. There's plenty of places to eat right around it. It's right off 65. So it's not like you're, traveling to the sticks and getting lost or on a field or anything like that.
So guys in the chat, if you got any more questions, please throw them up there. But let's go into the meat and potatoes of it, the charity aspect of it. What are we getting together for? This is not just for us all to look cool and hang out and drink and stuff like that. So
the charity, I know you can't see a lot of things behind me. I mean, I could do one of these, but still in a way. Dogs Helping Heroes. We chose that organization because it was a double whammy for us. It was, most of us are wanting to help support vets. And we also love the animals. I have a dog running around here somewhere, and, most of us have pets, but I mean, a lot of us have dogs. And this organization helps out veterans and first responders to get them a service animal specialized for them. And they actually go out and rescue some of these dogs as well. So some of them they may get and don't have to rescue, but some of them they go out and rescue because they go out and they actually vet in these animal shelters and stuff. If they find one at the right age that's able to be, attentive and, hasn't come from like broken homes or anything like that, to put them to stress, and they test them a little bit there, then they'll rescue them, they'll bring them in, and so I'm going to throw out some numbers. I can't say they changed or whatnot, but I think what the organization said was $6,000 is what it costs for them to get the animal trained, and then that goes out to the veteran. And that's just what they use to get that. That's like, I guess, for boarding and food and everything for the dog until they're trained. So I mean, they do a lot with both aspects of that. And last year we had a judge that was one of the recipients of a dog.
Nice.
That was kind of good. We actually have one of their board members going to come on and judge this year. I was going to see if I could get Kieran out there and say hi to people and stuff like that. So there's a possibility we'll get him back out there with his dog. But they serve a pretty big community. They start up in Indiana and they come down into Kentucky as well. And just seeing what they've done, it was kind of like, what, let's help them out. And last year we donated right about $4,000. We want to try to hit that $6,000 mark this year, so we can say, hey, listen, we at least got one dog, financed and help out somebody. I mean, anything is worth it. So the charity's going to win no matter what, and we get to have fun in the process.
So you mentioned the risk. Can guys, groups get together? I know we've talked about this in Wisconsin, getting together something we've already sponsored a category or two, but getting together things for your raffle. Can anybody contribute raffle items? Is there a
yes? Anybody? Okay, you open up a whole nother can of worms. Well, let me hit one thing up first. Basically, we have two categories left that need to be sponsored. One of them is the goatee category. So if there's anybody that's a goatee lover or, supporting it, wants to sponsor that, it's $100. And then we have the women's realistic. That one there, I guess people just haven't seen it because normally the women's categories go just as quick as like the kids and the veterans, but that's one that's left as well. So anybody want to sponsor those, they're open still. And I don't think after Monday when I post it, hopefully we get all that stuff closed. It's an easy way. We're putting I'm getting a shirt design made up to where we can possibly get it onto Sticker Mule, and it'll be on the front of the shirt, but it'll also have all the sponsors that sponsor categories on there. So it's a good way to get your name on there and get that. Still working those things out. We got a little bit of time to do that, but I'd like to make sure to say thank you to everybody this year. But going into the raffle stuff, we do accept raffle baskets from anybody. I just hooked up with Beans and Bearded Death today, and hopefully we can get that kind of worked out and get some, whether it's product or anything. But I think he's even going to set up at the comp. But I mean, like, basically, even if you do art, if you do leather work, if you do anything yourself just for hobby, anything like that, and put a business card in it or whatever you do for recognition, and we'll put it on the table. And all those crafts, people love crafts and people love things like that, and something that, if it's something that nobody's seen before, they go for it. I mean, even 3D printing, any of that stuff can be put on a table. We actually have something that we're going to auction that's been 3D printed. It's a pretty decent little package, and we're probably adding more to it. But we're going to have that for auction, and it's kind of Minecraft theme if anybody's into that. But I won't put that out yet unless I get my arm twisted. But raffle baskets, it could be that. It could just be local to your area stuff. So I mean, if it's like cheese,
It won't be a bad one. You could pitch it for cheese.
We could put together some cheese. We happen to we know a guy. We know a guy.
And I mean, just put a business card, in there, and that's a basket. I mean, like even Cincinnati Beard Barons, they do an awesome basket idea, which is you can win 2 tickets to their competition, and then they set it up with a bunch of Cincinnati food stuff. And okay. I've won theirs numerous times because I always go there. But I mean, just anything. It's always appreciated. And I think last year we had over 100 items on the table. Whether we do more, it's just all going to charity. We can't keep anything because we're 501c3. So we donate all the proceeds to Dogs Helping Heroes.
So this is a great order. We had some work. We do some work with a organization up here in Wisconsin called Ruck 22. We do a walk with them every September, and they work with the exact same type of organization, but I can't think of the name off the top of my head. I was trying to think of it as you were explaining it. The exact same thing, and that's where when you were saying the dollar figure for training the dog, I already knew the number because we had been through that conversation with Taryn before, and I can't remember the name of the group though. But those are great organizations, and that they're invaluable for the veteran community. So, where can people, if they want to get a basket together, where can guys reach out? Who can they get a hold of to?
One way we'll start off with is if you know any guys that are going, dump the basket off, Nick, bring it in for you. That's always the best way to do it. Don't cost you anything. Best way would be to contact me, whether it's on Discord or on Facebook, Andrew Orten. If you do it that way, what I'll do is I can either give you address to mail it in. And in all honesty, if I had to help out, I would probably do the same. because I don't want people to have to spend that much money to send something out to us. But just kind of get a hold of me, and we'll get them my address and just send it to me, because ahead of time makes things a little bit easier. But if they're coming to the comp, bring it to the comp. We will put it on the table, put a label on it, and get it up on the board. And then, like I said, we'll have plenty of stuff out there. So you got to understand, people buy tickets for this stuff, and there will be things on there, especially here in Kentucky. We are, specialized for a certain brown water. And I know that I make a few donations in the sense of whether it's bourbon barrel lids or, like cigar bourbon holders or anything to that nature. So I'll be making quite a few little handcrafted things like that myself. There's another potential one. I'll hit at that one at least. A possible big something about like that made of bourbon wood. That might be up for raffle and be decorated and everything like that. So, all these things, it's just to help out, and we're not trying to hurt anybody, but the thing is like I said, it's for charity. And there's a lot of guys who come from out of state that might actually want a bourbon barrel for some reason.
Next one right there.
Guilty.
But there'll be lots of things like that. I'm still working on some vendors. I know we're supposed to have Bearded Helios out there. I'm thinking Bearded Death will be out there. I know that I've talked to he came last year, the Bearded Flamingo. They came with a bunch of 3D prints and sublimated cups and stuff like that. I mean, some really good products, really fun stuff. Hopefully they'll be coming back out again. I think we talked to Big Sexy Beard and Bath, and they may be coming back out again. What about doing a bourbon barrel lid and having everyone that shows up sign it? It depends. We'll see. I always do a poster like that, though. I do. I'll be selfish. I do it for myself because going to these things, you just want to remember that. But I've done it for other places too, and I've actually done 2 of them, and in that way, you put one up later on, and hopefully someone wants it. But normally, what I do is I do one of a mimic of the banner, and everybody signs the back of it, and it's a fun keepsake because it's only 24 by 36, so it's not like you're having to keep something huge in the house, but it's something that is good for keepsakes. I have a couple of them because going to some big beard comps, it's fun to remember that stuff. But the biggest thing that I want to bring out to everybody is don't come thinking that you're gonna spend a whole lot of money. We don't charge for this event. It's just coming to if you compete, you'll pay. So that's we want to open to the community because we're trying to bring them in. So we're not there to do that. What we're there for is to get the people who want to and who can to help this go. So if you're coming just to spectate, come to spectate, and it won't cost you anything. They got good food. You sit and eat their food, and hopefully, you try to win something at the raffle table or any of those things, and then just have fun watching a bunch of bearded guys strut across stage.
Can a person enter more than one category?
What's that?
Can a person?
Oh yeah, you can. So you can go into however many categories you're able to because of the order. So some people have actually come in and competed in almost maybe 7 categories, not in our comp, but in other comps. Boy, she just come through barreling with music playing. So I'll throw one name out there, Taxi Phil. He actually has competed in, I think, 7 categories before. And what he done is he actually trimmed his beard up into different categories and then completely trimmed it off and just had mustache. And I mean, some people do that, and whether they're just going to want to do a regrowth or something. I don't suggest that you do it. It's wild. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. But like you can compete in the patriotic category, whether you put the glitter in your beard. I wouldn't do that either. But some people will paint it up or decorate it, whatever they want to do. That's one category. You can compete in regular beard. You've got the mustache, so you can compete in full beard style mustache. So that's 3 different categories you can compete in. It's $20 for the first category, $5 for addition. So we're not trying to make you pay over and over and over again. But to do the extra categories, it's just $5 extra. And I mean, some of them, depending on I don't want to talk about those other sides, but when we only get one person come for a mustache category, I mean, sometimes we let the guys with the full beards with a mustache compete as well, because I mean, that means you're competing in 2 different mustache categories. Just because it's still for charity. I've done that myself. I've competed in like mustache category, yet I got a full beard, and because they only got a couple guys, it's not because I'm doing it to worry about winning. I'm doing it because it's for charity.
At the end of the day, it's about more money for the charity.
And that's what it's for. So I mean, if I can get anybody to understand any of this, it's for the charity. And then the family, the camaraderie, the brotherhood, that's all benefit from it. That's all benefit from getting together and doing this. And, you watch. If this is your first time coming to this, you're going to leave it and you're going to go and tell everybody else you're going to bring more. I've been to some comps, like Big Whisker is probably one of the premier competitions out there now. Because they put on a show, and they know how to bring the crowd in, and they have a lot of faces from the bearding community there that help to support them. So I'm trying to do the same thing here, and we're doing pretty good. I hope to keep it rolling. It's only going to depend on that bearding community and people that want to keep it going. So I mean, if we can't get the support, it's just another one that's going to fade away. But we're going to do the work and try to keep it going, and with everybody's support, it's something that our community benefits from.
Got one thing in there from Bob as well. It says, don't forget to tell about the pups.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. So one thing that we did last year was we had this puppy play area. It was a fun little thing that it was beneficial to the pups as well. So we brought this playpen area in it was about 6-7 puppies that played around in there, and you got to go in there and pet them and sit with them and play with them. And I know one of them was adopted. We put that all together ourselves last year, and I can't say it was professional, but it was fun and it worked for what it was. But we did have, we had to put it together. So we had, gotten some things due to donations and have the equipment. So I ended up going after graduation, my daughter's graduation. We stopped to have dinner, and just right across the way, right next to a pet store, was Paws Forever. They're right in our community too. Seen them around, but didn't get a chance to connect with them yet. And they literally had puppies right there on the street up for adoption, and they handle all that themselves. And I talked to them, and they said, you know what, we would be willing to do that. It's not, I can't say it's finalized, but I did get the yes. It's just we need to talk, everything else out. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have it there, and that's why I'm already putting it out a little bit, because what I want to do for them is they're not far from us either. They're one town away, so like 20-minute drive for them. But the thing is like I wanted to go ahead when we get our sponsorship for them. I'm giving that straight to them. So we're looking for another $100 sponsorship for the dog, the puppy playpen area.
Yep.
And last year I made a poster that had the people who sponsored it. So the person who sponsors it, I'm going to try and do some extra stuff for and put their name out there because, you're doing another good deed and doing that. And if you're definitely a dog person, it's the couple that did it last year. They took home a big old poster with their faces on it in the play area. And, that's just a good keepsake too. But they're going to come, they're going to manage it. They're actually another, I guess you could say, vendor that'll be there because they'll be handling the adoptions and everything through them. So you're getting a legit adoption form. They already took care. I mean, this is the great part about it. They've taken care of the spade and neuter. They took care of all the shots and everything. If they are that young, which I mean they had tiny puppies there. If they are that young and they need another round, they have all that documented. So the thing is like you're leaving there, with a small adoption fee and not having to stress the whole taking them out to the doctor or anything like that and worrying about the worms or things that come along with new puppies. So I mean sometimes people go, I don't know if I want to pay. I know you get that free one, but they're never free. If anybody's had a dog, they're never free. You're paying some kind of big fee when you take them in for the first shots, this, that. So if you come to the event, you can play with the puppies, but I'm telling you right now, some of the ones they had, it's very hard. My kids worked me over that day. They worked me over. But I mean, it's another thing that we're going to have. I know I'm going to throw Beans on the spot if he's still watching, but he probably ain't. Call him out. He was telling me he was going to work on a few things and see about getting some extra stuff. If he's listening, he knows what I'm talking about. I'm willing to hear about that because I'd love to have some more stuff for the kids. So hopefully we'll have some more stuff. But right now, I mean, everything that we had last year, we'll have this year.
I do know one of the things he's talking about for the kids. Yeah, I do know one of the things. Panda's taking care of it for us.
Okay.
Yep. I won't jinx it just in case it's not completely finalized. But yes, I do know one of the things he's talking about when you mentioned kids. Panda's taking care of some things for them. So.
I mean, this is just like I said, I'm not expecting any of it. But the more that happens, the welcome it'll be, and all the credit will go to whoever's involved because it takes a community to do things like this. And I'm glad that I was able to put the event together. I'm glad that we've got it to what it is. And the more that everybody pitches in and does it, it just becomes bigger and better every year. So, for that one person that just wants to get a raffle basket in, I started out the same way. I mean, I think I got one sitting right here that I done this for people, and it turned into where you end up making one, you got everybody else one. I mean, so I make bourbon lid, cigar, and bourbon poster. But I mean, for this, I'm doing a few more things like wine holders. But I got some friends that do some stuff. I got some lids. I know Beans wants a lid. But I mean, really, it comes from just the small things like that. Awesome. So if there, I mean, I have so much I can talk about. I mean, we don't have all the trophies put together, but I can show one of those if you want me to.
Absolutely, yeah.
So our club, our organization wanted to have its own staple in doing trophies and things like that because going out to these competitions, you know, everybody's done whether it's wood burnings and things like that, and we still would do things like that. But what we wanted as a staple was like our big thing is America, and of course you see the American flag a lot in our stuff. We wanted to do trophies that were flags, so they're basically a flag, a hand flag that will have a pedestal and stand. We have those already, but they just need a little work. But the flags are pretty cool. Nice memorabilia that you could get. It's a 12 by 18 inch flag. And then you got like the smaller ones for the other places. They'll get, we'll have beer product that's been donated that'll go in gift bags with it. In the stands, they'll be kind of fun. And last year we gave away a 5-foot trophy for best in show. So we're working on something like that again for best in show. But we are trying to do something here that, everybody can, fall in love with and say, you know what, I want to get one of those. I know I do the same thing when I go out. I know one of our judges that we have, he's a big trophy collector, and not because it sounds like he's hunting and pecking or he's got, he's just doing that. He's just an awesome guy in the community that donates so much money, and he just loves the fact of whatever the piece is just cool to him. But I won't announce the judge yet. I'll give you the breaking news for you all, because June is going to be the release of everything. So for you all, I'm going to let you know that our MC that we got coming in for the event is none other than the same gentleman who did it last year, Taxi Phil. He is really big within the community. I can't thank him enough. I call him Pops. He's like another grandfather to my daughter. He is top notch in our community, and he's going to be the MC for Worlds. So, I mean, that's how much he's around in the community. So, I mean, he puts on a heck of a show. He keeps it interesting. He'll keep it moving, and he'll have some fun along the way. So, I mean, just you all get that, and hopefully all the ones that come, everybody's going to be happy with.
We had some breaking news here tonight. We should have led with
I was gonna put it out tomorrow, but I wanted to let you all know on the show, and especially with him, he's been around the bearding community in a lot of different shows. He competed so much. He's been doing a lot more MC work. He's done judging and stuff too, but as an MC, you could not get a better MC. I love so many guys that have done it, but he is top notch. He even does like the little auction, like the little guy that does all the auction stuff, auctioneer. He does that too, and he's pretty good at it. It's pretty funny. But I mean, I could see him doing this forever. And the thing is Worlds is going to be a great show for him. And then he's going to turn around a couple weeks later and be at ours. So, I mean, that's a hard thing to do, and he's got plenty of thanks from me for doing it. So everybody will come and take pictures with him and have fun with him, and he'll tell you what for. Shake his hand and you might get something. That's all I'll say.
All right, Andrew. Well, that is bringing us up on the back end of this year. I don't want to cut you off because you did say you could keep going. But is there anything you want to finish off with that we haven't touched on yet? Anything?
No, I mean, really just support us in any of those situations, whether it's just a little thing or whether it's sponsoring a category. We're not putting nobody under the bus, but we're gonna give you what's due and announce you out there if you do. That's all what's getting ready to start happening as well. So everybody who is sponsored and all that will start getting all the shout outs. I don't like doing it months ahead of time because it gets lost in the sauce. So I mean, it'll start coming out now.
I do like the way, since this was first brought to the table in the from RBC's standpoint, at least, I do like the way the momentum is slowly built and started. It's like a snowball rolling down the hill, because you can really feel as we get closer and closer. There's a lot of excitement building inside of the club. You know, we started a separate chat for it last week, I believe, and there's a lot of excitement building for the guys that are coming, the guys that are excited to try and compete. I know there's quite a few guys that have never competed before and are excited to get their feet wet, see what it's like, see what a real competition's like, and stuff like that. So there's a lot of excitement building. I know I can't wait.
I can't wait, because I know I'm getting told the same thing, and you know, it's like doing this stuff and going out to different comps. You never know what you're going to get, and I'm welcoming it with open arms. So I don't care if it's 100, I don't care if it's 5. The thing is that the more you come in, you'll see. I'm going to apologize now right off the bat if anybody's still going to be coming and listening. I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be running the event. So do your best to come give me a hug. And I apologize now, because I'll be running around like a crazy person. So, but give me a chance, and definitely, whether it's during breaks or afterward, I'll definitely come out and, kiss some hands and shake some babies.
Yeah, boy.
Exactly. Well, Andrew, I think that puts us at the end of the show. I can't thank you enough for coming on and talking.
Well, guys, I love the show. It's been great. Thank you for having me on.
For the people who don't know, Andrew is also the person that did our intro video as well. I mean, I know we've mentioned it. His name pops up at the end, but this is the guy who's responsible for that beautiful video set to our lovely song. So we thank you very much for that. That's probably the most. It's probably a better part of the show than we are.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
well, like I said, just hit me up if y'all ever need anything.
That sounds good, man.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Andrew. And just to once again, Beardamerica coming up. Oh, how many kids do we? Oh, Red Panda's got a question. Okay, this is kind of relevant to what we were talking about before, and I guess
honestly, it's really just going to be from people that are from the bearding community. So, like, I know we have like maybe 1 or 2 that'll be coming from my organization, but we don't do a pre-registration or anything like that. So depending on if a lot of members have kids that are going to come, I know we only had like 3 or 4 last year. I really want to push it and say, bring your kids, bring your wife. I mean, my wife started out back in 2019 and got dragged into it. Literally, I had a partner who was supposed to do Whisker Mania with me. Lost my partner. We're doing a tag team, and she dressed up as Hacksaw Jim Duggan and come on there and won first place.
Heck yeah!
So
what a great choice too.
Well, and that's the thing is, so for the ladies, come on out. I mean, you don't have to win your first one, but once you start doing it, it's a fun little hobby to get into and to enjoy.
There's one more question too that I've seen on here. Not sure if it applies to the competition or applies to the get together there in Kentucky.
Are we doing a speedo session or not?
Oh, one of the judges would be so happy to have that. I don't know. The only thing, let me talk to the venue, because I know they're good going people, and it is the American Legion. So I mean, the thing is, like, I'm not like opposed to that stuff, but we, like, one of our judges is known for that, and he was there last year. Hint, hint. So I mean, the thing is like, there's those things are fun too. We don't have a category for that. But let me get with the venue.
Yeah. Next year.
Let me get with the venue. If they're game, which some of them ladies up there are game for anything, I'll verify that. I'll get that out soon if I get that verification.
There you go.
I don't want to say yes right now.
All right. I think that brings us to the end then. Thank you again, Andrew. It was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
That was fun.
That was fun. Winding her all down here, man. It's been a quick show.
Yep.
Just like the month of May, it just flew by.
It did. So we got 3 weeks. Yeah. Because we're skipping Father's Day this year. We are doing our next episode is the 22nd. And we are having
Our good friends Bill Walter, Jamie Lynn, and
Chris Barnes.
Chris. Yep.
Barnes? Yeah.
No,
From the
Chris Hartle.
Hartle, that's it, sorry. From the Paranormal Rockdown event that we are sponsoring in the week before Beardamerica here in Wisconsin.
Chad, if you guys have really good memory, just make sure to ask Bill how his nuts got so good.
Yes, Bill loves to talk about his nuts. So.
He does love to talk about his nuts.
All right, well that brings us to the end, Louis.
Yes,
so
sir.
Let's I think we can run one or two more things here before we sign off. So once again, been a fond farewell and a goodbye to our friend Kevin from the club.
Yep.
Miss you, bud. Your spirit will live on in the Renegades for years to come. So good night, everybody.